Welcome everyone to the third video in the series of Make Your Pet Mathematically Correct. In this one we're gonna go over the infantry pets. This one took extra work because right now we're entering the zone of really theory crafting pets is getting harder for infantry and mages. Infantry because you're not looking for the same as with your cavalry or archer pets, which is mainly a damage output. Here you're valuing other things. And mages because while Sapphire Feedrake is easy to build because you just want a DPS machine, the newer generations of heroes and pets are taking more of a support role, which changes the concepts and the basics of the pet builds. So yeah, without out of the way, let's go straight into the builds. First one is the Sun Lizard. Please hear this out. Do I recommend you build one as a free-to-play? Absolutely not. Do I recommend you build this on your early game? Absolutely not. I do think this should only be built by whales in the end game. Why? If we check the DPS, this pet deals 0 damage. Okay, this is not a pet to deal damage. Okay, and the intention behind this build, which I know this is gonna be absolutely controversial, and look, you're right, maybe this is absolutely worthless. That's why I don't think infantry players should focus on this. Okay, this is a buffer pet, so this would only be built if you're running 5 marches of infantry. Okay, and one of your marches has something like Garwood Motion, Garwood Indies, because the objective of this pet, okay, is you have an AoE heal for your other 4 marches. So in this case you're going with your ball of infantry. This march, okay, is gonna heal all your friendly marches. It's gonna get increased through Garwood talent trees and Garwood skills. If you, for example, pair it with Indies, if we go over to the Indies skills, we can see here that she has up to 2 friendly legions, slightly wounded units, so pretty much a heal, 350 factor, 450 factor wounds awaken. Sadly, I cannot check exactly the skills of Muxiang, but she has heals too for their march. So this could pair pretty well with this Sun Lizard build, okay? So what are we looking at with this Lizard? We're looking at 81 rage, 10% chance with an 8 seconds cooldown. So this, if probably you don't proc it once every turn of your rage skill, but it's gonna be close. We're increasing 4% of Legion HP. This is not much stats, but at least we're focusing on the most important stat in the game, and especially for infantry. We're looking at a single target heal 900 healing factor, which is actually quite huge, and 120 shield factor for your march. Now here's the thing. If we calculate this with 4 friendly legions around our infantry march, we're looking at a healing factor of 3600. Now bear in mind, this doesn't mean you're gonna heal every single march for 3600, okay? Every march you will heal for 900, okay? So the thing is, with more marches, you're healing all of them, which increases the value of the Sun Lizard, but doesn't increase the actual amount of healing done, okay? So this march, you want a lot of rage. That's why we're going with outburst of rage, because we want to be cycling non-stop or buffs for our friendly marches. The intention with this march is not to trade great. You're not gonna print merits with this, with whatever pair you put, but is to support your other infantry marches in doing so, while minimizing the damage taken by this march, okay? So this pet, I will not focus it. It's not a priority for an infantry player. It's theoretically decent or good as a support, but then again, I don't the only combinations I could think is Garwood Muxiang, Garwood Indies, and probably is not your priority, okay? Now we're gonna move into actual infantry pets where things are getting actually interesting, okay? This was a bit more of a theory craft for yourself. First one is Venomous Lizard. It's absolutely insane how strong this pet is, okay? It's actually busted. I do believe that. For a Season 1 pet, this is actually busted. So we're going with the Poison. So pretty much what this skill does is It can trigger one every 1 second, so pretty much once every turn, and you have a percentage chance to inflict poison on the enemy. So if we go to the Venomous Lizard and we check exactly the description of the skill, 12% chance on the basic level with no consideration on agility, to inflict poison on an attacker for 3 seconds when your legion is hit by a normal attack. Poison deals damage every second, okay? Can be triggered once every 1 second. This is why this is so great for infantry. Your gameplay as infantry is to absorb damage and become the main target, okay? So you're making sure this is having an uptime of 100% most of the times. Okay, then we're going with double counter strike to even increase further the damage that you're gonna deal to those marches hitting you. And then we're going with the double roar, the tooth and claw, and the fatal bite to even further increase our damage in here. Now, 350 DPS for an infantry pet is absolutely crazy, okay? Because if we remember my other videos, like you have like the Golden Rock with Emery's, it's going at 390 DPS, which is only 50 more DPS, bear in mind caps are 2 deal damage. But here's where this gets absolutely insane, okay? This DPS is only for one march. Let's say you're getting swarmed by 5 players, which is gonna be super common with infantry. This DPS is absolutely crazy, okay? Bear in mind there's a 1 second cooldown, okay, for each trigger of this, but there's no cooldown for the counter-attack strike, okay? So we can see infection, the poison deals a lot of damage. For me, as an infantry player, this will be my top priority to start building from the season 1. Because the only other pet that I consider strong, I will consider it equally strong, is the BruinBear, this one, which we will talk later on. And I will just literally spam this pet on the early game, to be honest, like go for 2 of them. It's super strong, and the good thing about this pet is that it's kinda universal. Of course, for example, like in your, like it's not gonna benefit as much if you put him on cavalry or I don't know, like, you know, like archers. But again, everyone at some point is getting targeted by enemies, so this skill is kinda universal. But yet, like this DPS is absolutely insane. Like you go to 10 targets hitting you, almost 3k DPS is gonna be delivering your pet. Okay, and this helps you with your merit traits, because your counter-attack as infantry is not enough to trade positive, but if your pet can support your counter-attack damage plus add more counter-attack damage through the pet itself, it's when your traits are starting to look way better as infantry. I really do believe infantry is super pet dependent. We're gonna move into the next one, which is the MoonBear. I don't like it, that's the honest truth. I will absolutely not build it for infantry. I will never build this for infantry. I think this was a mistake by the devs, to be honest, to release a pet like this. Now, the DPS is absolutely insane. The main skill of the pet, absolutely busted, super high damage. But it's not fitting the gameplay of infantry, that's the truth. That's why you see this pet sometimes being played by Cap, because that's actually the gameplay of cavalry. Go in, deliver a huge burst of damage, and then retreat. If you're an infantry player, what's the value of you dealing like 3000 damage factor? Like, sure, you're dealing some damage, but look, what happens if we increase the amount of people attacking you? It doesn't go up, the attack. Okay? It doesn't go up. You can get a maximum of 3 hits for a total of 1000 DPS. Again, if we go to the Venomous Lizard, we're getting the same with only 3 attackers, same damage, and as an infantry you're getting swarmed by 5, 10, even 20 marches, okay? So you're getting way more value and fits way more your playstyle, the Venomous Lizard, than the MoonBear. That's the honest truth. I wouldn't build this pet, to be honest. I just wouldn't. And then if you're not using him with Mogor or the Endfall, it loses a lot of DPS, which, by the way, from what I've seen, it's not really a strong march, okay? So the only reason I would build this is if you're a rally elite and you're rallying or garrisoning with infantry. Otherwise, I'd just keep it and look, you have 2 pets honestly to work on, maybe 3. Like, I honestly would probably build this before I build the MoonBear. I just don't think it fits the gameplay of Infantry. I think that's its main flaw. It's more like a cowardly pet. That's my opinion on it. Last one, BruinBear. I like it. I think this is a great pet. So here it gets a bit more tricky, okay? Because it's pretty much the same concept as the Venomous Lizard. So if we check here, the more you're getting swarmed, the higher it increases your DPS, okay? Which is actually what you wanna see on your pet for infantry. The thing is, first, this skill has no 1 second cooldown. Okay, that means, like for example, let's say you're getting swarmed by 10 people on the Venomous Lizard. This is gonna be all the time dealing damage. This is gonna, like every single turn is gonna deal damage. It's gonna apply better to say, it's gonna apply the poison to one march for 3 seconds. Then you gotta wait 1 turn and it's gonna apply to another march. Meanwhile, this pet has no internal cooldown in the main skill. Now, this skill works with charges, okay? The more charges, the more DPS you deal. Or the higher the burst, we could say. So I think if you're really going, like, getting swarmed by 20 people, maybe the BruinBear is better in terms of damage output. We can check the app, but I don't think it's taking into consideration at all the inner cooldown, okay? But, like, it's, well, I mean, it's like the Venomous Lizard has so much damage. But I do think it's worth to go for the BruinBear, to be honest. Like, I think you can go Season 1, Season 2 Venomous Lizard, that's the pet you grind. Season 3 you can go for a BruinBear, then you see how they are performing on the field, and then you decide your 4th pet, if it's gonna be a Venomous Lizard or if it's gonna be a BruinBear. For the 5th, if you're a whale, I think I encourage you to try this out. Because I do think this can bring a lot of value and survivability to your infantry in the field, to be honest. But if you say, fuck it, I don't want the buffer style, then I just go with one of those, or probably at that time, whatever new infantry pet is coming. But the main issue with the MoonBear is that I don't feel it fits the playstyle of infantry. Again, like look, 5, it's 1k. Your maximum target count you can have 3. Like, it's the same DPS, but it is more likely that you're getting hit. Like, you will, just from the get-go, the second you have the enemy mages and archers have you in range, there's at least 5 people hitting you, for sure. So yeah, I know this guide took a bit longer. There's more stuff to go on and more things to explain, because it's not as simple as DPS machine, to be honest. But yeah, order of priority, I'd go like this, to be honest. Venomous, BruinBear, Sand Lizard, MoonBear. I know some people will disagree with me on the MoonBear, and I get it. Like, it's not a bad pet. The damage factor is actually super good. The issue I have is not the performance of the pet itself. The issue I have is the design. I don't feel it fits the actual current game style of infantry. That's all. See you in the next one.